Good day, everybody. Happy Labor Day weekend. Can't believe it's September already, but oh man, this thing's really dusty. Anyway, just wanted to do a quick video. Thank you to the Celtic Canuck for lighting a fire. She made a comment on my most recent vid saying, "Hey, where's your content? Why aren't you uploading videos?" And she's right. I should be uploading videos, especially with everything that's been happening in the news lately. Namely, the Donald Trump mugshot. I have plenty of thoughts on the whole arrest, but anything I say is just basically reiterating what other people have said. Of course, they're bogus charges. It's utter nonsense. What I don't understand is why is it that nothing's really happening on the Republican side to defend the front runner of their party. I mean, I guess it's because the people in power in Washington are all a bunch of unipartyists, and they want DeSantis to be the nominee. If it's not DeSantis, I could see Ramaswamy being the populist choice. But they're trying to get Trump off the ballot in several states, like New Hampshire. It's apparently trying to get him off the ballot. Brian Kemp of Georgia had the ability to, I guess, open up an investigation into Fani Willis and impeachment proceedings, or start an impeachment of Fani Willis. She's the prosecutor who's going after Trump in Georgia. And he chose not to because, again, he's a unipartyist, or they have dirt on him, or something, you know. But he's a rhino, as people will say. He's a Republican in name only. I don't know if that's necessarily the truth, though. The fact of the matter is the Republicans have never been particularly good at sticking to conservative principles. I mean, they pay good lip service to it. They have their voter base. They have the people that they try and curry favor with in terms of voters, but when it comes right down to it, they're all big government. With the exception of maybe like Rand Paul and a couple of others, but they're all big government. They're all self-interested. They're all career politicians in it to enrich themselves. And while they might have personal principles, those principles go out the door in the political arena. Anyway, my thoughts on the whole Trump, the Trump cases, Trump indictments. Was there 4 now or something? They don't seem to realize that it's biting them in the ass. It's only making him more popular. Now, there've been a couple of hot takes about the whole Trump thing, the indictments. Like Tucker Carlson said some pretty inflammatory things, insofar as they're willing to engage in a hot war with Russia to keep Trump out of the White House. I mean, that's quite a deal. I think they'd be willing to engage in a hot war for less. But one of the benefits of that would be to keep Trump out of the White House. And then Tucker Carlson was saying that also that he thinks if Trump keeps getting more money and keeps getting more success, becomes more popular, they're just going to assassinate him. I don't think that those things are necessarily going to happen, just because, and that might be my normalcy bias, just because I think it would be a huge miscalculation on the part of the Democrats. But then again, I mean, they're not known for making the brightest moves when it comes to gauging public sentiment. I mean, they convinced everybody for 4 years that Trump was the most unpopular president, and then before that he was so unpopular that he couldn't win against Hillary. These points of view were just completely wrong. I've said it before on this channel. I predicted Trump would win the presidency when he announced. Basically at the first debate. The first primary debate, I'm like, he's gonna win. He's gonna win. Anyway, because I could see what the tone and what the mood of Western civilization is, and Trump was the guy, just like Bolsonaro was the guy in Brazil. Just like, to me, Bernier is the guy in Canada, but Bernier's got a long road to hoe. Row to hoe or road to hoe? I think it's row to hoe. He's got a long row to hoe if he ever wants to become Prime Minister. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. He's just too much of an outsider, and Canadian voters are just too set in their ways with regards to our coronation of the two parties. Anyway, almost at the gym now, but I have a couple more thoughts on the whole Trump thing. I think populism is the inevitable. I think the people who want to maintain power ultimately seem ignorant or seem to have the hubris that they believe that they can never be removed from power, and I guess they're just ignorant of history. I've said it before: tyranny is an unstable system, and tyranny is essentially government becoming so large and so insidious and so what's the word? Omnipresent. There's another word that's better. But so omnipresent in everybody's lives that it becomes a de facto tyranny, even if it's good intentioned, even if people are ultimately, living halfway decent lives. There becomes a point where people just don't want that kind of interference in their lives, and then things break down. Things just, it's not stable, like I said. Make sure I'm in the right, a little bit further. Anyway, yeah, so I don't think the unipartyists, the globalists, the Democrats, the Republican rhinos, whatever, I don't think they quite understand it, or they quite understand the flow of history. It tends towards freedom. And of course there are pockets of time where freedom doesn't exist in one or more places around the world. But ultimately, people yearn to be free. And the notion that we can all, live like naked mole rats who have they have like a hive structure in their system, or bees or ants, is just wrong-headed. It's a very mechanistic view of people and humanity, and it's not realistic. It's been tried time and time again, and it's always failed. Maybe this time they'll get it right. Maybe they have the technology, maybe social media, maybe the internet will allow them to do it this time. I don't know. I think it's going to be one of these constant battles. Like, we will never be truly free living in a libertarian paradise, and we'll never be truly tyrannized because there's going to be this constant pushback. But the further one side goes, the further the rebound, or the, what do you call it, the snapback of the other side will be. So if you look now, we are living in what can only be described as a neo-fascist system, with government being omnipresent and having its fingers in every aspect of the market, every aspect of people's lives, and only wanting to do more. So what will ultimately happen is there'll be an uprising, there'll be a critical mass. People will say enough of this. And it might not happen in Canada till later, but it'll happen in some country, like, France, like it's happening kind of now in France. And I know that, it gets quelled from time to time and then it bubbles up again, but it'll happen, ultimately become the trend, and then ultimately it will become, okay, we're going to have to give it up a little bit and let people be free again. And then they're going to push for more control, and it'll be this constant, seesawing of systems, I guess. But I'm not prepared, or I should be prepared. I'm not looking forward to the snapback to the tyranny, I guess is what I'm saying. I'm in favor of the snapback in response to the tyranny, but I'm not looking forward to what it's going to look like. I watch a lot of channels the Canadian Prepper, and a couple of others, and they're all convinced. They're all black-pilled. I think the shit's going to hit the fan. I don't think it's going to be quite that dramatic or explosive. I think it's going to be a slow crawl towards chaos, and there will always be pockets of order and normalcy around, and things will just gradually get more dystopian as time goes on, and then eventually, it'll, like I said, snap back the other way. But maybe I'm just becoming altogether apathetic about the whole thing. I don't know. Anyway, there will be no Casual AF this weekend unless Twin does something on his own. There will be no Ammunition this weekend. I'm spending the weekend with some friends for Labor Day. Turns out the city I'm going to, they have a Movati gym there, so I'll probably hit the gym there. But anyway, I hope you all take care. I hope you all have a wonderful Labor Day weekend, and enjoy the extra day off, and I'll talk to you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.